This is the LG SL9YG soundbar. This is a Meridian enforced technology with Dolby Atmos support and DTS:X encoding for audio. It also comes with a subwoofer, so you get the soundbar, the additional subwoofer, and you can add additional smaller speakers to sync with in order to give you even more of an immersive all-around you audio experience, which is fantastic, obviously. So cool. Yes, this is a fairly decent looking design. It's sleek. It's got a nice outer metal material that looks really fancy. The front is smooth with just a sort of touch interface on the front. You also get a remote that comes with it that allows you to easily control the device. You can change volume settings, your audio types, if you want to increase the treble, you want to increase the bass, you want to adjust the subwoofer. It's all available through the remote control, whether you're using the physical one that comes with it on the actual device itself, or you can download an app for Android or iOS devices. Just an LG one, and that allows you to further control and tweak things just using your phone if you'd like to do so. It also supports Bluetooth 4.2. That will allow you to easily connect your phone and just play music and audio right through the soundbar here, which is a nice option if you'd like to do that. Moving past that, there's also Google Assistant support and Chromecast support. With the Google Assistant, you connect through the Wi-Fi network, you connect on your device, and then there you're able to edit things, and then you can use the OK Google technology in order to talk to the said device and basically command it and everything like that, using your voice, or just ask regular questions like how's the weather and so forth. Everything you should really be familiar with the Google Assistant at this point in regards to what it does and what kind of functionality you can get out of it. So the soundbar does actually sound pretty good. It's a nice quality audio. It really feels sort of immersive. You feel the bass. It's quite impactful in regards to just the feeling. Put my feet on the floor or my little care package stand I have right below my chair, and you can really kind of feel the when it's intense in movies, games, or just even music. That being said, the thing doesn't really pack a whole lot of a punch. You don't really feel the audio as much as I would have liked to. That being said, it is clear. The vocal elements are really presentable. They sound good. Explosions are nice. Games feel intense. I did initially have a bit of an issue kind of adapting to the different audio that was present, because the TV sort of is a very set way of hearing things, whereas when you have a soundbar, it is much more of an immersive, all around you sort of sound, so it was a little hard to place where things were, but I did get used to it. And yeah, so generally soundbars, I don't really get the point of them these days. The TVs are great for audio quality. That being said, I have grown fond of this one. I do like it. It sounds nice. It's a good way to listen to a number of movies, games, and music. So I'd play very alternative type things, tingy sound-based music, Naked and Famous, with like Youngblood's a good example, Bass Nectar, a number of other things, Traverses for audio, and some classical music too, because why not? When it comes to movies, I've tested this out with things such as like The Evil Dead, The Dark Knight Rises, La La Land, a number of other ones, Star Wars, Avengers, things like that. So yeah, good number of things. When it comes to games, Halo the Master Chief Collection, because it's really got fantastic audio in that game. Gears 5, because the test was running, Gears 4, Minecraft, and a number of other titles that I'm reviewing or working on while I'm working on this. So I got to test this with the LG C9 behind me, the OLED, the 2019 model. So that's going to be a separate review, but that works in part with this in regards to testing and what I was able to kind of get out of it. So they came together for review so that I could kind of do them hand in hand. I did listen to this as a standalone thing, but for the most part it was connected to the TV and listening through it that way. Going back to other features, it has 24-bit upscaling for audio, but regularly you get 24-bit 96 Hz for sound, which is really good. There's wireless rear speakers. You get an optical port, which is how I was connecting to the TV. There's also HDMI pass-through. I will note that while it is a 4K HDMI pass-through, it does not support Dolby Vision or HDR10+, which could be a hindrance down the road. I mean, those two aren't widely available at this point, but they are being integrated into more and more products when it comes to visuals such as like TV, and I imagine even phones more and more in time, just because, you know, it's going to become more of a standard, that kind of technology. Just wanted to mention that, so you do know in case you are preparing for the future. It's a good thing to know, at least in my opinion. There is USB playback port right here. You'll see a zoom in on that one too. So you can use USB audio if you'd like to play right off of that, easily to control. There's a night mode that you can turn on, which is kind of nice. The LCD display is auto dimming if you like that feature. And again, when it comes to controls, you get the remote, and then you can also use your smart app on your phone and everything like that. So it's very easy to control and run this. Cool. So when it comes to audio formats, there's FLAC, WAV, AAC, AAC+, OGGG, and MP3, obviously. I said WAV, right? Yeah, I did. So basically all the standard audio formats and some of the more intense ones, obviously, with FLAC being that. So on the speakers on the front, you get 50 watt by 2, top is 50 watts times 2. Surround is 40 watts by 2, and the 220 watt subwoofer on this one. So there you go. If that matters to you, now you got the details. So the soundbar itself is matching for TVs of 55 inches or higher. The TV behind me is a 65 inch, so this is actually a rather long soundbar. That just means that it seamlessly sort of matches the TV placement wise. Doesn't really make a huge difference in regards to where you place this. You can mount it on the wall, you can put it on the ground like I did, or a number of other options. I just put it on the ground because I'm reviewing it, and it needs to be easily able to be shuffled out of here once I am done reviewing it, because that's kind of the gist of how this works when you get to loan them. Cool. So the soundbar is 13.9 pounds. So again, 48.03 by 2.2 by 5.7. The subwoofer that comes with it is 16.8 pounds, is 8.7 by 15.4 by 12.3. Again, an immersive bass, generally a great audio quality to this experience and this package. I enjoyed having it. It worked well with the TV. Good sound, clear, nice clarity in regards to voices and explosions and all the smaller things. Whether you're listening to music, fighting in games, or even just enjoying and playing games, depending on the type of game you're in, or watching movies with the latest sounds, whether that was with apps that use Dolby support, ones that didn't, or even some older sounding things, just to kind of get a well-balanced idea of how the audio was presented within the soundbar. So again, when it comes to the pass-through, you do get the 4K, but I do want to again note no support for Dolby Vision or HDR10 Plus through. That will be a feature that will be more important down the road, but in case you are future-proofing with your soundbar, it is something to think about. I believe this would be really nice to kind of have, even not as something with your TV, but just an option for sound. It's very loud. It can get very loud. You can hear it through your whole house nice and clear, which is great. You can place this kind of anywhere just as a speaker, which would be really cool, assuming you have that kind of money, of course, but option is entirely up to you when it comes to that. But it sounds great with the TV or without the TV by itself. A number of ways to listen and enjoy this one, so I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Just a couple of issues with it in regards to the sound and syncing and everything like that. More just like, you know, it takes time. I wish I would have known about the Bluetooth right away, because that would have been easier than going through the Google Assistant, because I had to get an update for this one. So you be prepared for that. You may need to get an update driver through the Google Home for this. That does take a number of minutes. I think it was like 8 minutes for me. So that's just something to be aware of. Overall, it's really good. It looks cool. It's smooth. It's fancy. It fits well into the scenery. And if you have any questions about the device, let me know. But that is the LG soundbar. Pretty cool to review. It's definitely something different. And I liked how it coordinated with the TV, and really grew to enjoy the sound style and quality that was present with this device. It's definitely something that is different. And yeah, I don't necessarily, because beforehand I was like, I don't really care for soundbars, but at the same time now it's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a soundbar. It's a nice option, and it's a good way to listen to just music if you want to listen to tunes without having like speakers or something nearby, or just making your movies and your games sound a little bit better. Again, it really delivered with the Atmos sound that's essential these days in these kind of devices. And I think you get pretty good value in this pretty fancy looking thing. It's a nice finish, looks fairly smooth, and it does definitely sound really good. For the most part, it just really wanted more out of the subwoofer and a little bit more of a packful sound. You do get that bass, but just not enough of like intensity with it, at least in my opinion.